Hi, I'm Amog. I'm from University of Minnesota. So I'm going to explain to you my latest journal paper. So it studies the performance of rateless codes in wireless ad hoc networks. So the objective is to study a VANET setup employing rateless codes to achieve near ERD performance for delay constrained traffic. So we characterize the rate density achievable by rateless coded packet transmission and compare it to two benchmarks. One is the ERD and rate density of fixed rate codes. So I'm going to give you a brief introduction. So usually the performance of a wireless ad hoc network is measured by rate density. So rate density is basically the number of information bits per second communicated reliably per unit area of the network. So there are two variants of it, outage rate density and ergodic rate density. So outage rate density is basically the rate with an outage constraint where every link is subject to an outage. So you transmit at a fixed rate R, and if it is an outage, then you get 0. Otherwise, with probability 1 minus epsilon, you get the full rate R. So ERD applies to the case where you can achieve the maximum achievable performance, Shannon rate. So this is the case where, so in ORD case, packets are transmitted on a first attempt basis. So you transmit a packet and it is decoded. Otherwise, it goes into outage. You don't retransmit and you don't combine the packets again. So whereas ERD metric is more applicable to cases where the links are able to achieve the Shannon rate. So this is more suitable for delay constrained traffic, and this is more suitable for packet data traffic which are tolerant to delay. So here I just briefly overview the current approaches for achieving the ergodic capacity. You spread the code word of an information packet either in time or frequency before transmission, or else you use incremental redundancy based HARC. So this is part of the current wireless standards. Yeah. So the way rateless codes work is, so they supply variable amount of redundancy to instantaneous channel conditions. So for example, I'll illustrate, if you have a 75-bit information vector, so you encode it and send them over the channel. So the receiver waits for the parity symbols. So this is the first symbol, 100 symbol, 200 symbol. So when you get the first 100 symbols, you make a first decoding attempt. Then you will be able to decode, like, probably out of 75, you may be able to decode 15 bits, and then you make a second attempt at when you collect 200 symbols. So then you may be able to decode 30 bits. So likewise, you keep continuing until all bits are decoded. So this way, rateless codes have capacity achieving performance with shorter delays, and they're robust to no CSIT transmission since they follow the channel closely. So here in our paper we present a system model in which you have a tractable analytical characterization of the packet transmission time. So we use a pure Aloha system, and the transmitter process is modeled by a space-time homogeneous Poisson point process. So each node is characterized by Xi and Ti, where Xi is the location and Ti is the transmit time. So every transmitter has a receive node, and the transmit state is given by the indicator function from start time to the end time, Ti plus Bi. So for fading, we assume a IID block fading, where fading coherence time is large related to the packet transmission time. So this is the interference power at a given receiver. This is the average interference. So for first case, we assume a nearest neighbor decoder, which is not capable of estimating the instantaneous interference and noise power. So this is the capacity of a nearest neighbor decoder. So based on this capacity, the time to decode k information bits is basically the minimum time at which the rate becomes less than capacity. So you have a delay constraint so that transmitters with poor fading states don't transmit forever and cause interference to the network. So you impose a delay constraint. So that's how you define the packet transmission time. So in the exact model, all the transmit durations are coupled. For example, Bi is coupled to B1, B2, B3. So if B1 transmits for a longer time, all the other nodes also transmit for a longer time. So they're all coupled together. So you need to decouple them. So that's why we make the IID independence approximation. So B1 bar, B2 bar are the interferer durations, and they follow an IID distribution. And so they are statistically independent of, and they have the same distribution as the probe pair. So with that IID framework, we will be able to characterize the CCDF of the packet transmission time of the nearest neighbor decoder. So it's given by the following theorem. So it is implicit in nature, meaning that you don't know the expected packet time prior hand. So you need to tune it based on this equation in 10. And so this theorem can be used to characterize the performance of rateless coded packet transmission, compare it with ERD and also fixed rate transmission. We consider two improvements in our system: matched receiver, which is able to track the instantaneous interference, and so this is the achievable rate of a matched receiver. And also we consider the case of channel thresholding, where you say that transmitters with poor fading should not transmit, only the transmitters with strong fading should transmit. So these are my numerical results. So first we have the dotted line which shows the ERD, the maximum achievable performance, and then you have the red curve for rateless code and the black dashed line for fixed rate code. So this is for k equal to 75 and d equal to 125. So since the fixed rate codes don't adopt the amount of redundancy, they lose a lot, especially in low interference cases, whereas the rateless codes adopt the amount of redundancy, so that's why they're able to achieve higher rate density. And so this plot, I explain the performance of matched receiver with the nearest neighbor decoder, both simulation and theoretical results. So we see that even if you don't have instantaneous estimates of the receiver, you don't lose a lot of the performance. And here I show the advantage of the channel thresholding relative to constant transmission power. So the red portion corresponds to constant transmission power, the black one corresponds to channel thresholding. And here I compare these simulation and analytical results for CCDF and first moment of the expected packet time. So yeah, so that represents the poster. Yeah.